Hello everyone, Sajon here with another Vicky Quickie, this time on free speech and all the laws that come with it. Let's get into it. The first law I tend to use is censorship. This one's great. You get a plus 100 authority. Minus 10% technology spread is not great, but it doesn't hurt you that much, as well as minus 40% suppression and plus 40% impact on your interest group attraction. And that's when you go over to your government here and your different interest groups, and when you want to suppress or bolster them, it does make them more effective, which is good. And the 40% definitely noticeable, as well as landowners and armed forces, as well as your religious groups are going to be willing to pass this. The other reason why authority, though, is very good, and it's just something else I want to mention, because the next one is right of assembly, where we lose 50 authority. The things that is used for, which is really useful, again, was the suppressing of the interest groups like we're showing, or the bolstering, as well as you guys probably already know, but consumption taxes, right, all use authority, as well as your decrees, and there's a bunch of them here that make a big difference. I have a whole nother video on that. But yeah, authority is not something to just give away, so it is something that you do kind of want to keep an eye on and see maybe where you can squeeze and keep some of that authority. So censorship, again, has that minus 10% technology spread, but right of assembly has no technology negatives here, and it's a minus 30% suppression impact on interest groups, as well as a plus 30% for bolstering. So if you're worried about that technology spread, then I would say right of assembly is your next one. And this is kind of where I land most of the time. Unless I really do want that extra authority, then I'll stick with censorship. But I think right of assembly is the next law that you would probably go towards. Another reason why I usually land on right of assembly, it also unlocks guaranteed liberties law and internal security, which is very good. So you want to keep that in mind. Even though, again, you're losing that little bit of authority, I still think it's worth it. And there's no technology requirements. Unlike protected speech here, you do have to have human rights, which is an Era 3 tech. So that does take a little time to get to, but you get a plus 25% technology spread, and you do get the guaranteed liberties. But you also don't have now any of these bonuses to suppression and bolstering, and you can't. In general, you cannot be enacted at all. So you can no longer bolster or suppress any interest groups. So really, you only want to get to protected speech when you feel very comfortable with your current interest groups, because you won't be able to manipulate them by using authority at this point. The last one is Outlawed Dissent. I want to thank you guys for calling this out. I had a previous video out about Outlawed Dissent, and I wanted to have this actually law earlier, but I didn't realize that there's a political agitation requirement here, and a lot more on top of that, where you need to have anarchism, socialism, or pan-nationalism. So yeah, so definitely this is a much harder one to have. If you didn't have all these requirements, it's amazing. But now I understand why it's there. You have plus 200 authority, minus 15% technology spread, which again is not something you necessarily want, but you definitely overcome with more universities and things like that. But you get the minus 50% suppression and plus 50% bolstering impact. Put it down in the comments below which law you tend to end up with. Hit that like, subscribe, notification button if you like this type of content. And as always,
for the swarm.